Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing the Lenovo ThinkPad T480s. So this is designed to be a slimmer version of the T480, which I unboxed last week, and I have it right here. It's a pretty thick. It's a pretty thick device. It's designed to be more of a workhorse. You can see that it's not designed to be slim or thin or light. You could hot swap the battery. If you've been following along, you've noticed that I'm reviewing quite a few ThinkPads right now. I also have the ThinkPad X280, the new X1 Yoga, and I recently published my review of the X1 Carbon. So I'm pretty well briefed on ThinkPads. The T40S, I've never reviewed one from the TS series. So the T series in general is meant to be kind of a workhorse. But again, this is supposed to be slimmer. This one comes in at 2.9 pounds. So let's get this out of the box. ThinkPads come in this kind of basic cardboard box where your consumer devices tend to come in those fancy glossy box with shiny letters and everything. ThinkPads do not, because Think is a business lineup, so most people that use this PC are never going to actually see the box. These things are stacked in rooms so the IT department can get to them easier. So we can just get this open here, and there you have it. It's the standard ThinkPad Black. All right, let's see what else is in the box before we go any further. Over here is going to be our charger. Now this is a standard laptop. It's not a convertible, so there's no pen or anything. 65-watt charger, USB Type-C. Now that's one thing that's new to this generation. Here's the power cable here. That's one thing that's new to this generation is USB Type-C, Thunderbolt 3, and the ability to connect a docking station to the side, but we will get back to that. And we also have a warranty guide and safety guide, which we will not read. Those that watch my videos know that we will never read the paperwork. It's a Windows 10 PC. It's not rocket science, right? So let's just take a look at the sides here. We can see over here we have USB Type-C, Thunderbolt 3, and this is where a docking station would connect. Networking, USB 3.0 Type-A, and HDMI. All right, the spec sheet does not say which version of HDMI it is. So if it's 1.4, you can't go and connect a 4K display, or at least it won't have a 60 Hz refresh rate. Another USB 3.0 Type-A port on this side, and we can see there is no removable battery on the back, so you're not going to be able to hot swap the battery on this one. Now, there is an option for dedicated graphics on all the new T-Series ThinkPads. You can get it with an NVIDIA MX150 with 2 gigabytes, which obviously it's not the most powerful dedicated GPU in the world, but it's better than Intel integrated graphics, because with integrated graphics, that shares the graphics memory with the system memory, so you would have some dedicated memory. So the description for this says designed for mobile power, and that's kind of what you're getting. Like the new X1 ThinkPads, those are the flagships, and but those do not have a dedicated graphics option. So you get a little bit more power out of this. We can see that there's an 8th gen i7 in here, which is pretty cool. That's another one of the main improvements that we're seeing in the new generation of all the new ThinkPads is 8th generation U-series processors. So what that means is that these processors are quad-core, which is a significant boost in performance from the previous generation's dual-core. Now, all previous laptop chips have been all U-series chips have been dual-core in previous generations, and so that means a big increase in performance. And I've heard different quotes from different companies. Some companies have said 40%. To be safe, let's say 30%, but it really depends on your workload, right? So this runs Windows 10 Pro, which means that you'll have access to Hyper-V, and if you run virtual machines, those cores will definitely come in handy. So we can pull up the About page here. We can see that we have a Core i7-8550U CPU, which again is quad-core, 8 gigs of RAM. So that's pretty sweet. There obviously isn't going to be any pen support because, again, this is not a convertible. All right. Another thing that's new about this generation, by the way, It does fold to 180 degrees like all ThinkPad laptops do. And we can see that there's a they call it Think Shutter, and that's a privacy guard for the camera. So I just flip a little switch, and nothing can see out the camera. So this is something that's been becoming very popular in from various OEMs. I think Dell's doing it, HP is doing it, Lenovo did it. I think Lenovo did it first with the new ThinkPads that when they announced these at CES. And the idea is that in a lot of businesses in particular, people tend to put a piece of tape over the webcam so, a bad guy can't hack into your computer and see through your camera. So now there's a physical switch there, so that's just going to block it. Huawei's doing it too. Huawei did it by putting the camera in between the F6 and F7 keys, and then you just press that button and the camera pops up. So there's different ways of going about this. I like the way that Lenovo did it by putting a switch here. The only problem that I have with that is that now there's no Windows Hello. I'm sorry, there's no facial recognition for Windows Hello. So if you look at, say, the new X1 flagships, you actually get a choice when you buy those. You could either get the IR camera for Windows Hello, or you can get the Think Shutter privacy guard. So what I would really like to see is facial recognition on everything, and then still get that privacy guard. But again, maybe this shows up in the next generation. Okay, we do have a fingerprint sensor, which has been a standard on ThinkPads for years. Like before Windows Hello was even a thing, they were putting fingerprint sensors on these things. 14-inch screen. This should be 1080p. Yeah, it's 1080p, and there is a QHD option, but that's not the one that we have here. Is it a touchscreen? Yeah, I don't have a reviewer's guide for this one. Usually they send me over the specs of the one that they sent me, and I kind of know what's coming out of the box, and I didn't this time. I know what's available. I didn't know what they sent me until now. Then of course we have the keyboard here, so we can turn on the backlight there. I love the keyboards on ThinkPads, and I need to point it out always because I'm kind of a loud typer. These are very soft keyboards. They're very comfortable to type on, I find, and I really enjoy them a lot. And if you read my work, if you watch my videos, then you've probably seen that I really enjoy ThinkPads in general. People have asked me what my preferred laptop is, and it's actually the ThinkPad X1 Yoga. And I'm guessing that's why Lenovo sends me so many ThinkPads, is because I can tell you right now that I'm probably going to give this thing a great review because I think they're really just so well designed, and they put a lot of features in there that feel well thought out. There's little minor annoyances with a lot of PCs, and Lenovo seems to solve them. Like, for instance, with the Yoga, the keyboard retracts into the device when you fold the screen back, and no one else does that. I also the trackpad's always pretty good, but if you don't like it, I was letting a friend use one of the ThinkPads a couple weeks ago, and he really enjoyed the track point here, and that's why we have separate physical buttons here, so you can click and you can just kind of use this. I don't use it, but that made me realize that there are people that do. I really just enjoy the design of the thing. I also enjoy the carbon fiber material, although this one might be a little different. But the ThinkPad Black, it doesn't look like so many PCs that are out there are kind of MacBook clones these days, and the ThinkPads are not. 2.9 pounds, so this is really light. For a standard laptop, okay, you have something like the X1 Carbon, and the benefit to the X1 Carbon is that it's super light. That's only about 2.5 pounds. So you kind of have to ask the question, because there are so many ThinkPads. There's the T series, the L series, the X series, and then the X1 flagships. And then in the X1 flagships is the Carbon, which is a standard laptop, the Yoga, which is a convertible, and the Tablet, which is, well, a tablet. So when you start asking which one is right for you, my first question was, why would I choose the Carbon over the Yoga? They have the same specs, but you get additional functionality. And the answer was that it's lighter. So this is 2.9 pounds. It's still pretty light. And I think the real value proposition in the T480S is that you have that option for dedicated graphics, and it's still pretty light. The T480, that seems to be more of a rugged machine. So this is power, but it's also slim, it's light, it's portable. Portability is huge in laptops for a lot of people, not for everybody. I mean, if you're going for a mobile workstation and you need 16 gigabytes of graphics memory, then obviously you're going to be buying a 10-pound laptop. But that's where I'm at with this thing. I really enjoy ThinkPads in general, so I'm excited to review this. I like the 14-inch screen. I think it's the best screen size for a laptop because the 16 by 9 aspect ratio really works for me, because if you're putting two apps side by side, you want that wider screen. I know a lot of people like 3x2, which is what you'll find on Microsoft Surface and a bunch of other devices, but I think 16 by 9 at 14 inches is the way to go. There is the T580, which they haven't sent me yet. That one's 15.6 inches. So if you want to go bigger, there's an option there, and that has the same discrete graphics options. So I'm pretty pumped for this, and we'll have more in a few weeks. I'll have a review. Anyway, guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.